Amor Fati, love your fate and nothing can break you. Stoicism. Something went wrong today. Maybe it was small, maybe it cracked your whole world open. And your first instinct was to fight it, to replay it, to wish it away. But what if the most powerful move you could make was the opposite? What if you could learn to love it? The Stoics had 2 words for this. Amor Fati. Love your fate. Let's be clear about what this does not mean. Amor Fati is not surrender. It is not shrugging your shoulders and muttering that nothing matters anyway. That is resignation, and resignation is quiet despair wearing a calm face. Amor Fati is the exact opposite. It is a fierce, active, chosen embrace of reality as it actually is. Epictetus, a man born into slavery who became one of the greatest teachers who ever lived, put it plainly. Do not wish for things to happen the way you want them to. Instead, want them to happen the way they do happen. And then, he said, your life will flow smoothly. Notice he is not asking you to feel nothing. He is asking you to align your wanting with what is real. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor who governed a crumbling world, went further. He wrote that the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Read that again. The obstacle is not blocking your path. The obstacle is your path. The thing you are cursing might be the very door you are meant to walk through. He gave us an image for it too. A blazing fire. Throw anything into a fire that burns hot enough, and the fire does not go out. It seizes what you threw in and turns it into more flame. Wet wood, dry leaves, whatever you feed it, the flame takes it all and grows brighter. That is the soul practicing Amor Fati. Whatever life hurls at it, insult, illness, loss, delay, it converts into fuel. A weak fire dies when you add too much. A great one only rises higher. So how do you actually build a fire like that inside yourself? You do not get there in a single leap. You climb. Let's walk through it, one level at a time. The first level. Stop arguing with what already happened. Here is a truth so simple it sounds absurd. The past cannot be different. The meeting is over. The words were said. The person left. And yet you spend hours in silent combat with a reality that has already hardened into fact. You say, this should not have happened. But it did happen. Your protest changes nothing except your peace. Imagine standing in the rain, furious that it is raining, demanding that the sky apologize. The rain does not care. You just get wet and bitter. The Stoic gets wet and moves. Acceptance is not weakness here. It is the moment you stop bleeding energy into a fight you already lost, and finally have strength left for the fight you can still win. The second level. Find what the setback made possible. Every closed door rearranges the map. You did not want it closed, but now that it is, look around. What is suddenly within reach that was not before? Consider someone fired from a job they thought they loved. In the wreckage, they finally have the empty hours to build the thing they were too comfortable to start. The layoff did not ruin them. It evicted them from a cage they mistook for a home. This is not toxic positivity. You are not pretending the loss was good. You are asking a harder, more useful question. Given that this is now true, what does it open? A cancelled trip becomes a weekend that saves a friendship. An illness forces the rest your body had been begging for. You are not decorating the pain. You are mining it for the ore it actually contains. The third level. Retell your own past. Look back at your life and find the wound. The betrayal, the failure, the season you would erase if you could. Now ask honestly. Who would you be without it? The person who broke your heart taught you what you will never tolerate again. The business that collapsed gave you the scars that made the next one survive. The Stoics believed character is forged, not found, and the hammer is hardship. You are not the smooth version of yourself who was never tested. You are the one who was tested, and is still standing. So when you narrate your story, stop calling those chapters mistakes. Call them the forge. The you that you actually like, the resilient, awake, unshakable you, was built precisely there, in the parts you wish had never happened. The fourth level. Say yes to the whole of life, not just its pleasant half. Most people want a filtered existence. They want the summit without the climb, the applause without the risk, the love without the possibility of loss. But life does not come in halves you can order separately. The Stoics understood that to be alive is to accept a package deal. The same sensitivity that lets you feel joy is the one that lets you feel grief. You cannot amputate the ache and keep the beauty. Amor Fati means opening your arms to all of it, the loss woven in with the love, the fear stitched into the courage. When you stop demanding that life be only comfortable, a strange thing happens. Fear loosens its grip. Because the worst has been accepted in advance, and you are still here, saying yes. The fifth level. Act, because loving your fate is not lying down. This is where people misread the whole idea. They think acceptance means passivity, a soft smile while the house burns. No. Marcus Aurelius accepted the plague, the wars, the betrayals of his own people, and then he got up every single morning and did his job as emperor anyway. Amor Fati and action are partners. You accept the starting conditions completely, the hand you were actually dealt, and then you play that hand with everything you have. The farmer does not resent the drought and refuse to plant. He accepts the dry soil and works it harder, smarter. You accept the diagnosis and you fight it. You accept the market crashed and you rebuild. Loving your fate frees you to act, because you are no longer wasting yourself wishing the situation were something else. Half your strength used to leak away into the wish. Now all of it goes into the work. That is why the person who truly accepts reality is not slower than everyone else. They are faster, calmer, and impossible to knock down, because they were never leaning on the fantasy that things would be easy. The sixth level. Gratitude, the highest form of acceptance. There is a level beyond tolerating your fate, beyond even using it. It is being thankful for it. This sounds impossible when you are hurting, so start small. Tonight, find one thing that went wrong today and thank it. Thank the delay that annoyed you, the criticism that stung, the plan that fell apart. Not because pain is pleasant, but because gratitude is the eye that sees value where complaint sees only insult. The Stoics practiced remembering that everything they had was on loan, that this ordinary day, with all its friction, was itself a gift they did not earn. When you can look at the difficult stretch of your life and whisper thank you, and mean it, you have reached the summit. Fate is no longer your enemy. It is your teacher, and you are finally listening. So here is where all of this leaves you. Nothing that happens is going to ask your permission first. The rain will fall, plans will break, people will leave, and time will keep moving whether you rage against it or not. You do not get to choose the weather. But you get to choose the fire you become inside it. Amor Fati is not a trick to feel better. It is a way of standing in the world so that nothing can truly break you, because you have stopped needing the world to be different than it is. The obstacle becomes the way. The wound becomes the forge. The whole of life, its light and its dark, becomes the thing you have chosen to love. Start tonight. Take the one thing you have been fighting, the fact you keep wishing away, and set it down. Stop arguing. Look for the door it opened. And when you are ready, say the words that turn a victim into a force. Not, why me? But, yes, this too. This is my life, and I would not trade it. Love your fate. And watch what stops being able to hurt you.